G'day guys, how's it going? It's Bloodteeth here, bringing you another video of Gemcraft Frostborn Wrath, and I thought I'd just bring sort of a very quick little intermittent video showing an update of my progress. At the moment I have not got, as promised, a talisman full of fragments that have, +1 to all skills yet, and I'm still trying to farm them, but I've had some reasonable success otherwise as well, with XP runs and so forth. The last video I made, I think I was around wizard level 911 or something like that. I'm now wizard level 3573, so yes, I've made quite a lot of progress. I'm finding that I am now quite comfortably able to usually do endurance runs with, get endurance runs with what is essentially something in the order of about, on average, maybe 7 or 8 billion XP. That's pretty good, actually. If I got, say, 8 or 9 billion XP on a run right now, I would gain another 150 to 200 wizard levels. So that's quite nice. Here's an example. Where is it? There we go. 8 billion there. Let's see. 6 billion here, 3 billion there, here we go, 8 billion, 9 billion, so yeah, done a few runs with billions because I just wanted some extra skill points. While I've been trying to kit out my talisman, I got to a point where the initial mana bonus dropped right down to about 280%, plus 280% initial mana. So to offset that, I tried to just get more skill points just because I knew I could. And now that I've done that, I seem to start every single game now with a very comfortable amount of mana. In fact, it's quite a nice amount. It really helps out a lot. This is my fragment talisman at the moment. Let's see, we've got +20 to all skill levels, +2 to focus, +2 to component, and this piece of rubbish gives nothing. So yeah, it's a little bit of a random smattering at the moment. It's looking better than it was before, actually. I've got +541% initial mana, which helps a lot, but more importantly, I've got +20 to all skill levels. That really does help quite a bit when it comes to trying to either save skill points for helping that initial mana, or for actually just going ahead and pumping up all of the skills. I tell you, it makes a huge difference when just about all of your skills start with, well, all of your skills start with at least 20 straight off the bat. You notice a big difference. The whole game just generally becomes a lot easier. I've also tried to start stockpiling fragments. I've kept this one just because you know what, I don't even know why, to be honest. I've got a better fragment in the top. Oh no, this is an edge fragment. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think I could actually use this one. No, they're all skills, so this is redundant. I'm just going to get rid of that. I'm trying to stockpile fragments that I collect when I try to farm these fragments on field A1. I only keep any that have plus to all skill levels and also has markings on them. I don't know exactly how or what the marking setup is going to look like at the end. At the moment, this is kind of just a temporary setup, but I'm just keeping them, just trying to stockpile them, and eventually when I get enough, I'll probably start to be able to figure out a shape that probably gives me the best bonuses in terms of initial mana, but for the moment it's a bit of a work in progress. So this is what it is at the moment. Unfortunately, for some reason, I just keep getting bottom right corner fragments, which is kind of a little bit annoying. I've got what I actually ditched a couple before, so at one point I had 6. That's ridiculous. There's something wrong there. Either I'm just really unlucky, or maybe there's something in the game code that accidentally is biased towards generating those fragments. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, this is as it stands right now. Can't really say much more about that. It is what it is. These are my skills as a result. I've decided to start with quite a lot of points in a lot of different areas as well. Like for example, I've pumped up my strike skills and enhancement skills a little bit. Seeker Sense and Fury I've pumped up a lot just because, well, I just wanted to make it a little bit easier for me to, especially with this one, a little bit easier to beat enraged monsters, and I'll show you why in a minute. As for this one, this is just for the shadow cores. I don't really have to hunt for shadow cores anymore. I get more than enough with this setup just while hunting fragments or even doing endurance runs. It's working out okay. Let's see. I do have some skills that have no cap, or sorry, skills that have a cap of 50. I do have some of them maxed out just because I didn't want to have to think about them as a headache, and also they just generally help me quite a bit. For example, this one, mana stream is important for the lower mana pool milestones. More mana per monster kill doesn't really matter when you've got a mana farm, but having those pool milestones lower and lower does help quite a bit. It's cumulative. It's not much, but it's cumulative. Let's see, Fusion is awesome to have just because it makes gems so much cheaper. I mean, really noticeably cheaper to build. Let's see. And as for the rest, well, it's very biased towards killing and mana farm. This is the setup I'm running with. I have tried lanterns. Unfortunately, this skill is capped. And so is pylons, which I found interesting. Amplifiers and traps are not capped, however. I think the game author was kind of trying to, hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge you in the direction of not relying on lanterns and pylons too much in the much later stages of your journey. It's pretty obvious amplifiers and traps are the way to go, and I've found that to be the case as well. I tried maxing out lanterns and putting lanterns around with amplifiers and a maze, and I tell you what, lanterns, yeah, even though with the maxed out skill with plus 20 as well, at skill level 70, lanterns that damage I think something like 19 monsters per hit, I find lanterns still generally just suck. They not recommended, they're not worth it. They shoot way too slow. So the whole idea of them hitting multiple targets is kind of redundant, in my opinion. Traps are just better. They're the way to go, because you can place them on the area that the monsters walk over and still surround them with amplifiers, whereas with lanterns, yeah, you're just taking up more space. Don't recommend lanterns at all. Seriously, just avoid them. Pylons are great for when I'm doing endurance runs, but I'm not doing them at the moment, so that's just turned off. And yeah, this is pretty much the rest of my setup. Now, let's go ahead and see what happens when I try and do a fragment farming run. Let's see, set max traits, get rid of thick air, and that's it. This is what I'm running with. Actually, can I get rid of vital link as well? I can, but it's not that much of a problem. I just have to be careful not to send too many waves at the same time, because that will back up more monsters waiting, which will make monsters coming in a lot stronger. So this is what I run with. Talisman drop rarity range is between 80 and 100, and of course next 50 fragments dropped. I usually only get 2 or 3 fragments, if I'm lucky 3, when doing a run on field A1, but they get plus 10 rarity. So equating that, any talisman between 80 and 100 will automatically place me in a position where 1 out of 2 fragments are going to be rarity of 100. And of those, I think there's a 1 in 2 chance or something like that of that fragment being a fragment with marking. So that's what we're aiming for. High rarity fragments with markings. Should I turn off vital link? No, we'll just go slow. Anyway, let me show you what I do. Now, there are many variations on how to do one of these runs. Some of them do show runs on YouTube videos that I've seen where there's like a crisscross of lanterns with amplifiers in between or something like that here, and it just magically kills everything really quickly. I'm still not at the level where I'm comfortable enough to be able to do something like that, so at the moment I'm just doing things a little bit the long way, but that's perfectly fine. Now, all of the monsters cannot go to my orb because I have that battle trait on that basically pumps up their hit points and their total hit points and gives them 24 shields, and also pumps up their armor as well every time a monster goes through my orb. So I have to kill everything, literally everything. Also, I need to be aware of the fact that with this setup I need to make sure that I have a way of taking away all of the jeez, why can't I play and talk at the same time? See, this is why I'm not a professional YouTuber. I just can't do it. Anyway, where was I? Ah, yes, that's right. The setup that I'm playing at the moment, it is good for playing against having insulation on, because insulation actually only gives monsters plus 12 layers. So if you've got a mana farm and say, why am I doing that? I'm wasting mana. Let's just surround it with amplifiers now. Yeah, insulation with the mana farm, especially when there's amplifiers all around the gems inside the mana farm, they shred pretty much all of the shields well before any monsters even come close to the killing zone. This bit down here is going to be the killing zone. This is going to be mana farm, etc., so on and so forth. Let's see, I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah, let's just put that down there. Oh yeah, close that off. Do that like an OCD artist, and we're done. Now, go straight to grade 7. I'm not going to be able to fill in this mana farm completely at first, because I just don't have enough skill points to start with. Really hoping I get more useful fragments ASAP so that I can pay those forward and take away from... What did I just do that for? Instead of duplicating, I just sold a gem. What a waste of mana. Anyway, least affected. Yeah, getting fragments that are useful, I can go ahead and take away the skill points that have been added from all of my skills to sort of keep the skills where they're at, but essentially get all of those extra skill points back into what will be resting skill points that convert into mana for starting with. So that's really how I want to increase my ability to quickly go ahead and do this. And I use the term quickly very lightly. As you can see, this is taking a little while. Let's see, what do we got? 25, 1 million. Yeah, this is kind of reasonable. Let's see. Question is, did a wave of swarmlings just enter? Yes, it did. Okay, so I've got to get this up and running now. I find swarmlings early on are the bane of my existence in this type of setup for farming fragments. But once the farm is initially set up properly, and I get on top of the early aggression from the monsters, let's just call it that, that sounds pretty good. then things become a lot easier. Actually, you go there, and you can go here. Yeah, something like that. Whoa, whoops. Let's not go overboard there. I'm not sure I feel good about this. And we'll put a random low-grade gem with a high-grade gem in an amplifier here, because in doing so we will hopefully not destroy many monsters, in fact destroy almost no monsters whatsoever, but at the same time have the ability to take out wizard hunters like that, for example. Too easy. That's what you want. Now what I don't want is what's happening here. Okay. This area definitely needs amplifiers ASAP. That works. Hey, what's going on? Less hit points? No. And I think that's good. Yep. I'm happy with that. We survived the early aggression. We're now poised to just continue periodically upgrading the entire mana farm and the kill zone without even angering any waves. I don't think it'll be necessary until all of these gems inside the mana farm reach something like grade 13. Once they do, then it becomes a bit of an issue. Because then I'm put into the awkward situation where the gems in the mana farm are destroying the normal monsters, and that's not what we want. So to get around that, to stop this from destroying monsters and potentially stopping mana farm from producing as much as I need it to, or want it to, I need to go ahead and anger some waves. In fact, you know what? I think we're there now. Not too much, let's just enrage a little bit. Jeez, 80 million straight off the bat. Numbers are unrecognizable from when I started playing this game. Tell you what, such a big difference. Okay, let's add some enhancements. It's working out nicely. I've got no complaints. Let's see, where are we at? With this setup, there's 45 gems total inside both the mana farm and the kill zone in traps. So if I want to upgrade the entire mana farm, and that is assuming that every gem has the same grade. At the moment I've got a bit of a difference here, but well, let's just, go with the assumption that they're all the same. Essentially what I need to do to calculate how much mana I need to upgrade things, I just need to take however many times I want to upgrade, calculate that per gem, times it by 100, and then halve it. That is a comfortable amount of mana that I'll require to go ahead and upgrade everything, and also it will leave me with just a little bit of mana, which is nice, because, hey, what if the worst thing happens where you're starting to banish monsters and they've got high banishment costs? I know it doesn't really mean much when you're making millions, but just in case, it's nice not to basically leave yourself with only a little bit of mana left, just in case. Doesn't make much sense to run the risk. Now, after all that, I need to actually calculate how much I need. So 160, 320, 480. So I need about 500, half a million. Okay. So that would be 50 million divided by 2, 25 million. I'm there now. So I can upgrade all of these twice. Lovely. Let's do that. And these are all 13 already, so I'm happy to leave that like that. And here we go again. Let me just apply more skills. Yep. This one needs one. And off we go again. Let's upgrade this just in case. Because honestly, kind of neglecting the kill zone a little bit. Okay, I'm happy with that. Grade 19 gem on wave 20. That's reasonable. Now just remember, whenever every single monster is destroyed, it spawns 2 spawnlings, or swarmlings, sorry. And those swarmlings have 3.6 times the health of the original monster. So I need to keep that in mind as well. My, shall we say, killing potential needs to be quite strong. Because like I said, I do not want a single monster making it to my orb of presence. Not yet. Now, I'm at a point where I need to upgrade all of the gems inside the amplifiers 6 times. Honestly, considering I'd lose what? How much do I get back for that? 6.8. Cost 9.9. So by just selling or salvaging all of these gems and then duplicating and inserting, which is quicker by the way, I lose 3,100 mana per gem. And I've got 100 million. I don't care about the losses. I'll take whatever's quick. That's just for those of you who say you shouldn't salvage. You should instead always upgrade your gems. The ones in the amplifiers, they don't hold anything special like an applied enhancement or anything like that. So I see no reason why, given how the losses are negligible, I don't see any reason why I should actually go ahead and upgrade them all as is. It's time consuming and it's a pain in the butt, and I'm not going to do it. There's no point. Why not just do this? And I'm done. See how simple that was? No worries. Let's upgrade this a few times just to be funny. Let's upgrade you one more time as well. Can I just say, that is grade 4 gem whose effective damage when critical hit happens is an average. An average of, that would be, let's see, 110. So we've got 110,000, 111, 33, 34 million. 34 million hit points per shot from this one little gem. Grade 4 gem. That's insane. In fact, you know what? Let's be funny. This does essentially the same. A grade 1 gem that does about 28 million per hit. I'm not going to lie, that's amazing and insane. And you know what? I'm going to be funny. I'm just going to leave that there. Why not? This thing can take care of all the wizard hunters that may crawl in there. Alright, where are we at now? Let's see. 638. That's not so bad. Doing alright. Let's wait for level 24 on the pool. Okay, perfect. Now, where are we at? If I wanted to upgrade every single gem twice, it would cost me, let's see, 650, so 1.3 plus 650, so it's essentially 2 million per gem. So 2 million, 200 million divided by, that is 1 million. Huh. And I've got 100 million. I've got 300 million, 336 million. And it costs 100. So if I upgraded 3 times, it would cost about 300 million. Alright, perfect. I'm going to upgrade everything 3 times. Oops. Now, if you're wondering why I'm not salvaging these to make things quicker, it's because I have enhancements on these gems. I don't have enhancements on these gems though, and I don't really care about the bonuses from the hits that they've got, so I can actually do this. Lovely. Done. Oh wow. I have a lot more mana left over. But that's good, that's fine. That's kind of expected because at the end of the day I did overestimate. And before you ask, yes, I'm going to leave these poison gems here as is because they are going to come in useful, very useful actually, later on in the game when I stop enraging monsters and I start sending waves in droves. That poison is actually going to make a big difference. Not too big of a difference, but big enough. Oh, I forgot to upgrade all of this. Whoops. Let's wake those up again. And while we're at it, let's enhance things again. So, 6, 5, 6, and a 5 down here. 5. You get a big juicy 6. I want this shadow gone. Perfect. A lot of you might be wondering, what am I actually trying to strive for? When do I stop doing all of this upgrading and all of this building up and just start sending waves in droves? Well, essentially when I get all of the gems in my kill zone and this main gem to around grade 25. So until I get to that point, it's upgrade, upgrade, upgrade. Now, where are we at? 15 million. So we need 1.5 billion, so 750 million to upgrade twice. And then 20 million. So if I did 35, so 3.5 divided by 1.75. Oh wow. So check it out. I now have enough mana to upgrade all of these gems 3 times again. Oh, I'm an idiot. I pressed the wrong button. I didn't upgrade, I applied an enhancement. Whoops. Oh, and if you're wondering why I'm doing this whole upgrading everything 3 times instead of upgrading once every time I have the mana, it's because the time it takes between bulk upgrades like this, where I'm upgrading everything 3 times instead of once, the time it takes for that to come around, it's around about the same time as if I went ahead and upgraded everything once when I had the mana and then had to wait for all of the gems to re-socket back in and then start making up that mana again. It's all that lost time. It builds up, and because, like I said, the amount of time difference between when I do these bulk upgrades is so little in the first place, it's not really worth it. It's easier for me again to just go ahead and bulk upgrade every 3 times in a row. than to actually go ahead and do it the normal way, which is to upgrade when I have the mana. There's no benefit, I found. At least the benefit to effort that you spend doing it is just not there, in my opinion. So don't waste your time when you're at like a wizard level like where I am, you know, around 3,500 wizard level. There's no point. Just do everything in bulk, just like what I'm about to do next. I could upgrade all of these 6 times, or I could just salvage them all and replace them with copies of what's inside the mana farm. No guess as to what I'm going to be doing. Whatever it takes to make this whole process a little bit quicker and easier. If something takes a lot of effort and the benefit is somewhat negligible, don't do it. That's my recommendation to you. Just don't do it. Make life easier for yourself. Who cares if you squander maybe 1/3% of your mana doing something, you know, a little bit less efficient? Who cares? Alright, where are we at now? So, at 120 million, that would be, let's see, 6 billion. 6 billion, and I can upgrade all of this stuff twice. Oh, I've just realized something. Hello. There we go. I keep forgetting about those gems and those amplifiers in that area. You can't neglect your kill zones, otherwise you might end up in strife. Pro tip: take care of your kill zones. Simple. Alright, 6.5 billion. Oh, whoops. Again, wrong button. Jeez, what a waste. Okay, where are we at here? You need 6 and I just wasted all of that. Damn. Oh well, no biggie. Anyway, let's not cry over it. Once again, sorry for the slideshow, guys. My computer is about 7 years, almost 8 years old now. So, all things considered, I think it's doing quite well. To be honest, it's only just now started to struggle playing some of the bigger titles. Like, for example, I think one of the latest Wolfenstein games, was it New Colossus or something? I purchased it, and then when I went to play it, it said your system, you don't meet the minimum system requirements. I'm like, what? I hadn't seen that issue in like 8 years, 9 years. No, more. I remember I used to have that issue a lot when I used to have a Mac back in 1995, 1996. That used to come up a lot because computers went out of date a lot more quickly than they do now. And that's because, unfortunately, companies' abilities to make computers more relevant or continue to increase in processing power has slowed somewhat because they're hitting physical barriers that they're finding hard to get around, or they're finding it difficult to find new ways to make existing computer architectures faster through some other means. So yeah, that's interesting and a little scary. Anyway, enough of that rubbish. How much do I need? I need 8 billion, I think, to upgrade everything. Let's do that, and then I think that's about it for my mana farm. I'm not going to upgrade that anymore. Instead, I will only focus on the kill zones. Oh, finally this poison gem gets enhanced. That took a while, didn't it? A little bit too long, actually. Alright, where are we? 23, 22. Oh yeah, we're down here. Okay. Sorry. Lost track of where I was for a second there. Okay, that's that. And now we just... Ooh, 26, even better. Is this thing killing anything? No. Good. Okay, let's see if I can surround everything in the amplifiers with grade 23 gems. Once I've done that, what I'll do is I'll just save up a little bit of mana, maybe a couple of billion, so that I can get a grade 15 or 16 gem to use for gem bombing to get rid of shields from incoming waves. And then I'll start my final approach. Can you believe it? Look at the radius of this gem. It extends all the way out to here. And that is at 40% of its range. That is insane. Anyway, enough of that. Let's start our final approach. Now, I can't send all waves at the same time because of Vital Link. It will actually make the monsters incredibly stupidly powerful. So, we do it in bursts. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Let's upgrade this bad boy. And let's enhance these as well. Because why not? 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 20, 19. That's respectable. I think we can send the rest. Yeah, that's fine. Let's see. There we go. And that is how I go ahead and farm for fragments. Ooh, 3. Only 2 of them have marking. Let's see. All skills. That's useful. Damn, all skills. All skills. Okay. All 3 have all skills. I might be able to use this one actually right now. Let's see. That may have been a fruitful run. Let's see. Ditch you because honestly, actually, I'm not going to ditch you. I'm going to ditch this instead and shove this one down here. There we go. Plus 21 to all skill levels. That's better. Now, what have we got here? This one can't use it at the moment. This, however, I can. Hello. I knew it. Now that doesn't give me extra to all skill levels, but it does actually add to the bonus, mana bonus. There we go, plus 622% initial mana. That's looking better. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't need this anymore. Okay, so this is how it's looking. I can't see any obvious way forward. where I can change things up. So it will have to remain as is for the moment. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. This was just a little update. Hopefully the next time I do a video, I will have this talisman. It won't be completely full of rarity 100 fragments, but it will hopefully have at least plus 25 to all skills. So every single fragment will have plus to all skills. And hopefully I will also have almost all of the markings set up the way that I need them to kind of almost maximize my initial mana bonus. I'm really missing something on the bottom row, and I'm really unhappy about just constantly getting these bottom corner fragments. It's kind of useless to me. But anyway, it is what it is. See you at the next video, guys. Catch you later.